Continuing on in chapter 11, now we're going to talk about the area of circles and sectors. So we're going to start off with the area of a circle. Area of a circle is the amount of space that a circle occupies. Okay? So if you look at an area of a circle, we are looking at one basic formula. It is pi times radius squared. So the key there is you have to have the radius. If they give you the diameter, remember that the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, or the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So if you are given diameter, you're going to need to divide it by 2, get the radius, then plug into this formula. Now, just kind of like we did on the last section, section 1 there, we're going to do similar here where we'll be getting an exact value and then an approximate using calculators. Okay, so let's start in. Let's look at the first one here. So the first one, this is my radius. My radius is 10. So the area would equal 10 squared pi. And when we look at that, 10 squared is 100 pi square units. Okay, so that's my exact answer. At that, and then we're going to take 100 times 3.14, and our approximate is going to be 314 square units. Okay, let's come over here. The first thing I notice is I'm given the diameter. So the radius would be 13 halves or 6.5. I like to do it as 13 halves because to me it's easier to square. So when we do this, we've got area is equal to 13 halves squared pi. So the area is equal to 169/4 pi square units. And that's our exact. You can also do that as the decimal. You would get 6.5 squared, which is 42.25, if you want to write it that way. And then we come down here, we find the approximate. So we do the 169 divided by 4 times 3.14, and that's going to give us an approximate of 132. And we're going to go to 2 decimal places. It's 0.665, so we're going to go 0.67 square units. And that would be our approximate. Okay. Now, we also have these things, sectors. Sector is simply a part of the whole circle. So a sector is a portion that is cut out. To find that, what you're going to do is you're going to find the area of the full circle and then take the ratio that the sector is to the full circle. So what you basically do is you take the measure of the arc divided by 360, and then that gives us, multiplied to the area, gives us the area of the sector. So if we look, the arc here, this is my central angle, so the arc would also be 70 degrees. So what I simply do is I take that and I say, okay, the sector's area is equal to 70 divided by 360 multiplied times pi times 12 squared. Now, I like to simplify as much as I can, so that is 7 over 36. This is going to turn into 144. And 144 can be divided by 36. So 36 goes into 144 4 times. So now my sector's area is 7 times 4, which is 28 pi square units. And then to find the approximate, we take 28 times 3.14, and that is going to give us 87.92. Okay, 87.92 square units. Okay, so let's try another one. If the area of the sector ACB is 159, find the diameter. Well, we're going to use that same formula that we just had. So remember, the sector's area is equal to the measure of the arc over 360 multiplied to pi radius squared, the area. So if we plug in what we know, then this is 159 is equal to 81 over 360 pi times radius squared. So at that now, we would simply start in to solve. You could simplify if you want. You don't have to. So we're just going to start in here. We're going to multiply both sides by 360. And when we do that, we get 159 times 360. And that's going to give us a value of 57,240. And that equals 81 pi r squared. My next step then is I want to divide by 81 pi. So that's going to give us then, so 57,240 divided by 81 times 3.14. And that's going to get us 225.05, and that equals r squared. We take the square root of both of those sides, and that's going to get us second x squared of that answer, and that's going to get us an r that is equal to 15.00. That's the radius. So now to find the diameter, we simply take 2 times the radius. And that means my diameter is going to be approximately 30 units. Okay? And that's how we do that. So that is how we find the area of a circle and the area of a sector.